Mr. Trump just arrived in Chicago, and after meeting with law enforcement, tonight's rally will be postponed until another day. Thank you very much for your attendance, and please go in peace.
Hey everybody, it's Paisley Moore with your Black Collective Daily. I'm out here in the location of beautiful Battery in downtown Charleston, and I am interviewing one of the key protesters in the rally that shut it down in Chicago with Jedidiah, and we have an exclusive interview with him today. Jedidiah, how are you today?
Hello, how are you? Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. So let's just get right to it. I think you were very memorable in that we saw you get on stage. What were you thinking when you got on stage?
What I was thinking was, as a Chicagoan who's very proud of our city, we're going to shut down a hateful campaign and not allow its message to be projected in our airways.
And what were you saying? We couldn't have, obviously the mic wasn't picking up what you were saying, but you were shouting out something. Do you remember what you were saying?
Yeah, can you believe it? They cut the mic off on me? They so rude. I was saying that America is already great without hate.
Absolutely. And then at one point, I think they got a shot of you in the audience where it looked like it may have gotten a little violent with some of the protesters and the Trump supporters. Can you explain what happened there?
Yeah, so when I came down from the stage, they actually let me go back into the general area where everyone was. And the supporters of Donald Trump, they were even more angry. So a gentleman threw a bottle at me, and a guy tried to jump over the rails to attack me, which is the green guy you see with his hands up, and the security is holding him off. And then the guy jumps on my back with an American flag on. He puts me in the headlock, I swing out, and I defend myself. From Chicago, we know how to move quick and defend.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, I'm a news producer myself, and I remember watching this before putting together the 11 o'clock show, and I saw you swing. I was like, yes, that's what I'm talking about, because I'm tired of seeing it where you see the supporters, it seems to where they get very violent and act out on the protesters. Obviously, this may be an obvious question, but if you can elaborate on the environment at a Trump rally, what is it about a Trump rally that seems to foster that type of violence and anger?
The environment, first off, it was what I saw in the media. I was really trying to figure out what I saw in the media was real, or if it was just being hyped up to being something that it wasn't. I saw black people, specifically, I saw a black woman being pushed around. I saw a bunch of white men surrounding her. That was unsettling. And then I saw a black protester punched in the face, and then the supporter having the audacity to say maybe next time we should kill him. These were things that I was concerned about. So when it came to Chicago, of course I was going to be there to make sure our people were safe, and to also find out if we're really having this kind of hateful environment. In 2016 on the presidential platform, wow, it really was. It was very racially charged and divided. It was a very tense environment, not even getting in the building. It was tense before we got in the building. While you were standing in line, you heard people on one side shouting, "Make America Great Again," "We're gonna build a wall," "Go back to your country," all kinds of racial things. It was something like the 60s. It was a very unsettling atmosphere. It was uncomfortable.
Okay. And as you mentioned, you are an activist. Can you let the world know a little bit more about Jedidiah and his activism there in Chicago?
Let me fix that. We tend to put labels on everything. And that kind of brings division. I'm not an activist. I'm a black man who stands up for what he believes in. And I believe that anybody and everybody could and should do the same. Wherever you live in this world, you should stand up for what you believe in. But as a man and as a citizen who takes pride where I live, I'm more so focused, or I've been more so focused on stopping the violence in Chicago. Everybody knows Chicago's been hailed as the murder capital. So I try to be proactive. I don't just show up when there is a murder scene, which there is a lot that goes into that, making sure the police and the community don't get into it. Bringing the family the necessary information, giving them a shoulder to cry on. But I spend a lot of my time trying to gain conflict resolutions, to stop retaliations, to help brothers and sisters find a better life, as well as raise the consciousness of the Chicago citizens. And I stand up for everything from policing to economic development, to education, to elected officials being accountable. Whatever's going on in my city, I'm involved in.
Absolutely. And I'm going to say this as an outsider looking in here from Charleston. I will say that most of us were not surprised that Chicago was successful in shutting down that rally, Trump's rally, because of the reputation or the title that Chicago has. But as you said, helping out in the community first and foremost and standing up for what you believe in. Let us know a little bit more about what's been called the First 50 Initiative.
So the First 50 Initiative is something that I started. We've done a lot of great protesting and marching, but we're ready to build. We understand that we have to do for ourselves. Calvary may never come. So I've asked 50 of my closest allies to donate $1,000 so we can raise $50,000. You know, I got my beats, I got my nice gym shoes, but I'm taking money now to invest in my community. So we take $50,000 and we're creating a model that can be duplicated until we raise millions, and we built our own education facilities, we built our own businesses, took ownership of land and homes in our own neighborhood and made it into the community we dream of it being. That's what the First 50 Initiative is all about. And we're definitely going to be traveling around the globe. And so I hope one day I'll be coming to South Carolina. So connect with me on social media, Live Life Freed on Twitter, Jedidiah Brown on Facebook, and all these things we can organize together and hopefully change the world. I'm looking for organizers in South Carolina. When we come to your city, I want to connect. We got to let Donald Trump know we as a country we're not going backwards.
All right, I've joked around about this too at work, but I've heard people say this push or movement. People have been saying if Trump becomes president, then they're going to move to Canada. What do you say about that?
I got my passport signed up for my passport a couple weeks ago because I'm going to visit. I'm going to go scout me some houses out. This country be tweaking if we let Donald Trump become the president of America. I want to say this to South Carolina. Y'all know something about stuff kicking off. I believe in the 1860s where that's when the Civil War began in South Carolina.
Right,
and
the
that
first shot of the Civil War, right? Actually, we're right near where it happened. Fort Sumter is actually where the first shots of the Confederacy hit the Union, but yes.
Yeah, and so that was a civil war between individuals about slaves and free slaves. We are literally, I feel like we have lost about 20 years of history that we don't appreciate and we don't keep in front of us, and our generation doesn't really know where we come from. What history that's forgotten is history that will be repeated.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
America's already great.
Thank you so very much. Y'all heard it here first from Black Collective right here on location in downtown Charleston. I'm Paisley Moore with your Black Collective. Stay tuned.